Hi everybody, it's Tom the Bee Charmer again, and obviously I'm not having someone film me, but as you can see, this is the mother hive. Look at how big she is now. Very strong. So we've been working with her, but the name of this video will probably be Robbing the Coben ID, Coben-19 for bees. So looking over here at our other colony this morning, I went ahead and put sugar water in it. This is where we're making our queen. And we left. It was an absolute disaster. There was bees flying out from everywhere when we drove by. So I said to my wife, when we get back from town, we'll take a look. And my fear, of course, is that this smaller hive was being robbed by the larger hive, and therefore they would kill it. So we have two problems in the summertime, of course, robbing and the bee moth. But let's go see. Maybe we're really fortunate. I put sugar water in here this morning to strengthen this hive. Let's take a look. There are still bees here. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to get into it right now and take the sugar water out. So I'm going to put on my gloves and we will see you then. One, two, three.
Go.
Okay, yesterday when we came by, I did a quick blog because the bees looked like they were robbing when we came by. We thought it was a disaster. I mentioned that it was the COVID-19 for bees. It's a complete, they were coming out of each hive, which would be that there wasn't any swarming. So the effect would be either they were swarming, or they were mating, or they were being robbed with that many bees coming out. With both coming out from both hives, then probably the bigger hive was recognizing that it could get in and out of the smaller hive. Well, we looked last night and we found out they weren't robbing, so evidently they found another another source of sugar or another source of food, or they were mating. So we don't really know as yet what was going on, but we're going to take a quick look inside and try to figure out what was going on, and we're going to change some brood out, and we're going to make a community feeder for both colonies.
I don't think it's brood. I think you're changing some foundation out.
I'm going to change foundation
Okay,
out.
not brood.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to see what's, well, you're right. You're right. There's not enough brood left.
That's right.
But by the next blog, we will definitely have both colonies together and make one big colony. So we'll be back to square one again. But in the meantime, over all the blogs, we've done little experiments and different things and put them under stress, especially the mother hive, under tremendous stress. But she's lived through it. So the thing to do right now at this time of the summer, and all of this was done in the summer, so we shouldn't be able to do very much. The spring is the time to do this. But let's go ahead.
Or maybe fall when the pollen is out.
Excellent thought. We know that goldenrod is coming in, and we do know that the October bees are the bees that make it through the winter. So pollen will start coming in again. And we've learned too that they can't make a queen without pollen. There is no pollen now anywhere. So they don't have a source. Sugar water alone won't do it. So let's take a look at what's happening in the small colony first, and then the larger one. Close.
I will, Tom.
Get real close. And remind me to talk loud.
Tom, talk loud. You're on.
I'm on. Okay, I'm on now. Notice here, we thought we were robbing last night. I've reduced the entrance of the hive more. A lot of people use these kind of reducers, which are fine.
I'm sorry I didn't get that reducer.
A lot of times people use reducers like this, which is fine. As I said, I do bricks. You get it?
Yep.
Okay, but I sealed the cover last night, even though I really didn't have to because they weren't being robbed. So we have plenty of bees in here. This is the one where we're making the queen. Now, unfortunately, we're not doing it, and I think it's because, if you want to look at this, Brenda, up here, okay? And we put it in front there. I went ahead and I put the feeder in, which, let me get some smoke on there. Just a little smoke to knock them on. Notice the bees themselves are where the brood is. Let's slow them down a little bit. Let's get the feeder out of here. And we're going to make a community feeder so that the other bees won't smell this and come and attack these bees. And rather than fresh wax, which we have over there, Brenda's made a bunch of fresh wax. We are going to use old wax that's already been drawn out. So, let's go ahead through our hive. Need some more smoke. As we would do to see what's going on. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. We're going to go to town and we're going to go ahead and get some sugar water. So, boy, there's a lot of bees in here.
So what are we looking for in here, Tom?
We're looking to see if, in fact, we do have a queen with what they were doing yesterday. They didn't rob, so why were both hives so anxious? If you can get behind me maybe, Brenda, around behind me. Okay, there you go. Okay, we've got honey coming in here and here. Some pollen, but not enough. Honey again. I don't see a queen. I don't see very many drones. I'm going to go through this quickly. So, oh, something is happening over here. We will get to this in a second. Let's just see what's going on here. Honey down there. See plenty of honey. And what's over here? Nothing. Okay. Since yesterday, since I fed them, this was plain. But can you see? I don't know if you can see. Can you see them laying wax down here?
Yes.
Okay, so that little bit of sugar water, there is a hive beetle right there. I don't know if you can see it. There he is. Come on, get out of the way. See him?
Yes, we can see the hive beetle.
You can see the hive beetle. But the important thing is that they are laying down wax. If we can get them sugar water, they will continue to lay down wax. Now, there may have been a virgin queen in here when I put the other cells and eggs in here. I do not see a queen. Let's quickly go over here. I do not see a queen. I see a drone, but I do not see a queen. Okay, more foundation here. Again, look where the bees are. They're around the brood. What do we have here? Nothing. Nothing. Let's take a quick look here. Do we see any eggs anywhere? I don't see any eggs. Now, Brenda reminded me last night, I was so happy that, oh, I saw eggs in there. She reminded me that we put some eggs in there. I would have thought that the bees would have cleaned those eggs up and anything else. But apparently, they don't. We don't have sunlight, so I can't see very good.
And I can't either because of the way you're holding it. Your head's in the way, babe.
Well, again, I'm sorry. Okay, this next is the brood. They're on top of the brood. Oh, it's heavier. There's the brood. Do we see a queen? Anywhere. Anywhere. I do not see a queen. Do we see a queen here? What? There's some young.
But that's probably where you left it last time, babe. It could not be, though. I don't know.
She should be here.
All right, Thomas.
Okay. I do not see a queen. A lot of bees right here. Honey. Careful inspection. Oh. They're laying down wax again. They're doing a good job of laying wax down. But I do not see a queen. So we'll wait another week. And I suppose since we're laying down wax, we'll go ahead and put some fresh wax in here. Honey. Honey on the ends. Well, I'm sorry, folks, but we don't have a queen. And as far as that goes, we don't have queen cells anymore.
So really, they had no notion of making a queen because you left the day-old eggs in there.
That's what happened.
And so they
That's
pretty
exactly
well
what happened.
don't want to make one.
I'm going to get some fresh wax. This will replace the feeder. And we're finished here. Well, are we finished?
Well, didn't you put another wax, a wax already in there, babe?
I
That
did.
was, so I don't think that one is necessary.
What it is to have a good wife. I did.
These are going crazy right now. At least they're not attacking me, though. Yet.
Well, they won't. Why isn't that going down? destination for them. Okay, we're done here.
So
Okay,
are we
let-
gonna say anything?
Okay, let's go over to the other hive. We're going to see what's going on in
We're
there.
gonna do all of this in one log, the log?
Well, we'll start.
Okay. Well, people, this will probably be a 30 minutes vlog. Knowing my husband.
I'm going to get some more smoke. Ultimately, like we'd want to do, if in fact we can't make a queen here, then we've got to get this off, get these bees down in here, crush them down so that in a few, or we're in July, almost August now, we're going to have the pollen flow in September and October, the bees. Those October bees are the ones that are going to make it through the winter. So that's the next thing we're looking at. So let's take a look.
Sorry.
Okay, we have bees right up to the top, 3 deeps. Too many.
Too many bees?
Too many bees, but there really aren't that many.
Well, they're filling it up, it looks like.
They're filling it up, but let's give them the honey back. There's honey in there.
And a hive beetle.
And a hive beetle here. What do we have here? More honey. But what we're going to do, just a minute. We're going to give this back to the bees and try the best we can to start reducing this down to a double. A triple is too much. So there we go. Let's get rid of this and put it over here. They'll get it. And what about here? Let's squash them down. Notice they haven't built on the new frame. What's that telling us? There aren't enough bees in there. There's not enough honey intake for them to build. If there was, that lots of honey. But let's make them put that honey someplace else. You can
Sorry,
see in the
I'm not
front here.
filming correctly.
You can turn around and see in the front. Putting them. By the time we get in from town, this should be just loaded with bees. Here's another one. There are no bees here. I mean, there's plenty of bees, but no honey. We're going to put it right in front of the bees. There they are. Let's just gently get rid of them. We don't want just a few bees because what are our problems again right now? Wax moths and robin. So you're saying, Tom, why are you taking this beautiful triple deep apart? Well, there aren't any bees in it, or not enough. And obviously we know that because they're not building on it like they were in the little hive. So we don't need it. Put this here where they won't climb up on it. Our goal is to get these bees to bring honey back into the hive, and as soon as, and there we go again, oh look, a little bit of pollen here, but not enough to do anything. Remember, now we're in August, the 1st of August. There is no pollen anywhere. By the time we get back from town, there'll probably be all over here. Yes, we're sacrificing. Look at that, just hardly any honey at all. Just gently, you don't have to do very much. And when you rob, that's what you do. Look at that, we're going to put a hole deep out in the field. Again, not building on it. Okay, good sign that they're not getting enough sugar water. We need sugar water to make wax, stimulate their little wax glands, and we need pollen, which we have found out. We've tried 3 times to make a queen. Now, possibly we do have a little queen in there, and they were going crazy yesterday, but we don't know why. But we're going to get rid of this here and smash them down. You've got to have the bees smashed down right now, because if you don't, you're going to have robbing. You're going to have robbing. And that's what Brenda and I thought yesterday. So, they have to have it crushed down enough to have plenty of room, and therefore not enough room for a wax moth to come in. And it will drive the hive needles up to the top. Now look at that.
Okay, so is this as far as we're going to go into this one?
You want to go home, don't you?
Well, I don't think we need to bother the poor bees if they're doing their thing. I think sometimes we can go in them too much. We are going to go on through them.
This is where the brood was. Maybe we will see the queen today. Lots of honey. Lots of honey. No queen. But we don't expect her to be there.
Then why don't we go right to the bottom?
Because she hasn't been laying in the bottom, and that's a good question. We have no queen excluder, and she's decided to lay up here. She has laid a little bit in the bottom, and we are going to move quickly. Okay, we have honey. We have some brood right here. How much brood? There's no day-old brood, so we have some brood here that's about 5 days old. We expect to find her on the brood. And we got some sunlight too. Look at that pattern. An excellent pattern. So even though we would change in September, kill the old queen, this old queen, look at what she's doing. She's laying in such a pattern, it's perfect. She's laying in a perfect pattern. Every
I'm
time.
sorry if I'm not getting total everything. I'm not used to doing the camera this way.
Okay, maybe you can come around in the light better, Brett, around the other side of me.
I'll be in front of the bees, and I don't want to be in front of the bees, babe.
All right.
Behind them.
I'm going to turn it this way so I can see. We have young C-shaped larvae in here. Okay, 3-day-old larva. So she was here 3 days ago. And on the other side, maybe 2. Okay, so we're getting close to her.
Let's hope we find her pretty soon.
Larva. I know Brenda's wanting to get out of here. And I've talked her into coming down and seeing this. Heavy. Laying pattern, excellent. Excellent laying pattern. I want you to see that nose. And we have drones too. but we don't have a queen yet.
There's eggs in there too.
Yeah, and they are filling it up with honey though, as well. Honey up here, eggs down here. I'm sorry, brood, cap brood.
There's some right in the middle there.
Right in the middle. Okay,
Okay, Thomas.
I'm going through this as quickly as possible. Honey. Honey, so that probably does it. Honey, so she's not over here. Once we say honey on the ends, she's not there.
Okay. These bees are getting riled up.
Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of smoke here.
They are so riled up right now. They're hitting my screen like if they could sting me, they would.
Okay, you don't have to worry, Brad.
As he leaves me.
Remember to put them in order. Notice that click. Hear that clicking?
Yeah, and this is more than 50 pounds, and he should not
No,
be
it's not.
lifting that.
But you're right. If it were full, I'm wearing a back brace right now. If it were full of honey,
Okay. Put the smoke all over me, babe, because they're all around me.
once they get that smoke in them, they're going to be confused.
Well, they're confused right towards me.
All we're going to look for is the queen right
I
now.
know,
So
huh?
we're going to be very quick.
Yep.
She's not there. Say, they haven't laid down
Wax.
wax.
You know. Look at that. They've lost so many stingers trying to sting me. So once they sting
Okay,
me,
there's
they're
brood in
dead.
here. Yeah, I don't see her. Oh, Brenda, I bet you can't wait.
I cannot wait.
Just honey. Just honey. Only 5 more to go here. Honey. Honey. Well, it looks like we're going to miss her again.
I think so.
We have missed her
Is that
again.
her?
Where?
Right over there. Guess not. Alrighty then. He is going to close this up. I'm going to walk away while he's closing it up. If he finds her on the way that he's closing it up, I will come back and take a picture. We will finish this after he closes up.
they have found the sugar water. All right. We have effectively fixed the other hive to a double deep and put the frames over here. And I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me get in closer. They are all over the place. But I'll suit up when I come back in from town.
Go.
Hi everybody again. Okay, the theme of this is going to be robbing and reducing bee space. Last night when we came by, we almost had a disaster. The bees were going crazy, you recall. We didn't know what was going on. We had mentioned before that there were only a few things that it could be. Robbing would be the first one. Remember, it's August 1st. Wax moths would be the second one in the middle of summer. We're getting close to finishing up this summer series and go into fall then. But, okay, we were concerned, okay, this 5,000 bees or whatever could be robbed out. We'd be out 10,000 bees, and the mother hive still stood at 3 deeps. So the next morning we got up, what did we do? And we went and we went in and we got the feeder, the inside feeder that they had emptied the night before, and then put it into a colony, or a community feeder, and then went over and reduced the big colony. Remember, we took out the whole deep on the top and made a colony feeder out of it. In the meantime, what did we do? We reduced the bee space, so we made them tighter and tighter together. And that's very important at this time of the year, to not have too much bee space. So, robbing is the theme to this, and reducing the bee space. What are we going to do next? Well, once they start taking in all this sugar, and we're going to continually feed sugar water right now, because there is no pollen available. We learned also from this, from trying to make the queen during the summer, that in the absence of pollen, they can't make young without pollen. They had plenty of sugar water, they had plenty of honey, but they didn't have enough pollen. Pollen will come in the fall with the goldenrod and other fall flowers, and then will be time to make a queen again. But 4 principles by now we should know. The first one being a bee will live in anything. That was the first one. And the second one, of course, was it would never leave brood. Now we've seen that. We've seen that going through this series. We've done a lot of little experiments and stuff. But now let's think, a bee cannot raise young without pollen. There hadn't been any, it shows the importance of pollen. That'll change in the fall and in the spring. But one thing we should always do, and sometimes we don't think about it, is to enter the apiary and start working without smoke. Always have smoke with you. So at the end of this little blog right here, theme of it being robbing. So, okay.
All right.